You know when your kid's birthday is coming up and there's this little voice in your head that says the cake needs to be perfect. That voice has a name. It's called Pinterest pressure. And it has nothing to do with whether or not you can actually bake. So I can bake a birthday cake from scratch. I just don't because it's time consuming. It's intimidating even if you know what you're doing. And I found out last year it's not what actually makes the day. Last year, I made this exact cake for my daughter's birthday, and she loved it so much that she asked for it again this year. So today, let's make it together. I'll show you the easy way to get it done, start to finish. So this recipe is from Cassie Joy Garcia over at Fed and Fit. I'll put a link in the description below. Go give her a follow. She's got some really great content on her website. And her story behind this cake might actually be my favorite part. So it happened because one of her own kids accidentally dumped an entire jar of strawberry jam into the batter. Not a spoonful, the whole jar. But it actually turned out better than what she had actually planned. So that right there kind of sums up the whole recipe. So this strawberry jam, it turns out, is doing more than just adding flavor. So we're using a boxed cake mix as our base here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is perfectly okay to press the easy button. So we're using a boxed cake mix, but we're using a gluten-free boxed cakes mix. And so gluten-free mixes, they can dry out fast. They can get a little crumbly. Now, that whole jar of jam is basically double the amount of liquid that the mix calls for on its own. And so in addition to adding flavor, that jar of strawberry jam also keeps the cake from drying out. It's the whole hack, honestly. A full jar of jam is what makes this box mix taste like it didn't come from a box. So, true confession time. Last year, I used a brand called Cup for Cup. It's supposedly the best gluten-free mix on the market. It's the mix that you'll see Cassie Joy actually calls for in her recipe. This year, I could not find it anywhere. So I grabbed King Arthur instead, and I'm going off their box directions instead of the recipes, which are a little different. Now, I did not tell her I switched anything. We're about to find out together if that was a good idea or not. And into the sheet pan it goes, one flat layer. This isn't just about skipping the stacking. Cassie Joy actually recommends the biggest sheet pan you've got because all that extra liquid from the jam needs somewhere to go, and more surface area gives it the best shot at actually setting instead of staying, gummy in the middle. Turns out the low effort choice and the technically correct choice are the same, at least this time. So we got no layers to stack, no leveling, no crumb coat, which, let's be real, that's exactly why I keep making this one instead of anything fancier. So if this whole the shortcut still counts thing is speaking to you, I've got 5 of my favorite ones for dinner, the nights when takeout starts looking like the only option. It's called 5 Easy Swaps for those almost takeout nights. It's totally free. Link is in the description below. All right, quick timing note. I went with the bake time on the back of the box, and I started at the higher end of the range. I probably shouldn't have done that. It came out good and golden, right at the edge of too dark. Not burnt, but if I'd left it in much longer, we'd be having a very different conversation. Lesson learned, go with the lower end of whatever range you're working with and check it early. Now it's time for the frosting. Cream cheese, butter, and another jar of jam. Well, actually more like half a jar of jam. So as the recipe is written, it's really soft, almost pancake batter soft. So if you like it like that, that's cool. But we like ours a little bit firmer. So here's what I actually do. I cut the cream cheese, the butter, and the jam down to about half of what the recipe calls for, which, to be clear, is an option baked right into the recipe. It's not something I made up. But then I add the powdered sugar 1 cup at a time until it looks and tastes right. So there's nothing scientific or precise about it. I'm just playing with it until it's a texture and a flavor that I'm happy with. If this is the kind of kitchen content that makes your week a little bit easier instead of harder, hit subscribe. I've got new videos
every week.
So the verdict? She had no idea I'd switched mixes on her. It turned out just as good as last year, honestly, maybe even better. My husband went back for seconds. Both girls did too, which, that's kind of the whole thesis, honestly. The only pressure in this entire video was the pressure that I put on myself over a cake mix. And in the end, it didn't matter one bit. Good enough was still the cake that she asked for again this year. So this is what good enough looks like. Last year, this cake didn't just work. It became the cake that my daughter asks for again and again. And that's the only bar you need to clear. If you like that the easy version won this time, it's not the only time that it does. Go check out my simple pumpkin pie video next. Same idea, just a different holiday. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.